I have a privilege right now, a privilege, as someone who is the Democratic nominee. I have the privilege to concede this race to J.D. Vance, because the way this country operates is that when you lose an election, you concede, and you respect the will of the people, right? We can't have a system where if you win, it's a legitimate election, and if you lose, someone stole it. That is not how we can move forward in the United States.
That's Congressman Tim Ryan conceding the race last night after he lost to Republican J.D. Vance in a hard-fought race. That shouldn't be an extraordinary act, but in these times it's an extraordinary act and an important act. He said it was a privilege to lose to a guy that he feels like he would have been better to represent the state of Ohio, but this is the way it works. He went out and fought for a year and a half and lost. You concede the race and you move on.
Yeah, no, you're right. And by the way, I think this is a guy, he ran a great race.
He did.
It was incredible.
He ran as good of a race as he ran. And I've always been a big believer that usually the better political athlete wins. That didn't happen here. J.D. Vance, and I'm not piling on this morning, but I've talked about it before. GOP donors, GOP activists, they all say he was the laziest, worst candidate that they've ever seen. He would insult donors at roundtable meetings. He was petulant. He was lazy. He didn't like campaigning. And why is this important to bring up? It's important to bring up because it shows that Florida and Ohio are two states Democrats are going to have to think long and hard about before investing a dime in there in 24. They can rebuild the infrastructure, but right now, Texas, Ohio, and Florida, please, Democrats, Democrats, it's fool's gold, all right? All right, focus on Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, 270. But they always say, oh, you know, next year, Texas is going to swing. No, and let me just say also, Tim ran a great race. And by the way, a lot of people like piling on Beto. Beto runs great races. His presidential campaign got off to a tough start, but his statewide races are things to admire. He goes, he campaigns, he goes across the state, he confronts. Let me tell you something. He was running uphill nonstop.
The whole time.
The whole time. So I have nothing but great things to say about Beto. He lost. He ran a great campaign.
Same with Tim Ryan.
Yeah. You know what? It's not a Democratic state yet.
It's not.